Welcome in, everybody. My name's Gerard, and I am starting this new YouTube channel to get into keeping fish. What I'm going to do in this channel is obviously keep fish, but I'm going to try and economically source various items as cheap as I can through Facebook Marketplace and places like that. Because when you go out to buy these things, they're hugely expensive. Fish tanks, pumps, fish, they all cost an arm and a leg. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and access these as cheaply as I can to build the best fish tanks I can, and then scale that up over time and take you on that journey with me. So this is my first tank. I've put a couple of videos up online already that just show the fish and how they're evolving over the first month of my journey, and they're doing pretty good. My favourites in here are our better fish. That's Midnight, and that's Glacier. No, that's Violet, and we've got Glacier and Rose in there somewhere else. There's Rose. Not sure where Glacier is at the moment, but yeah, so that's my first tank, and I have just on this last weekend gone, I've jumped out to Facebook and I have found this stuff, and this stuff here, quite a bit of stuff. These plants I bought separately for the scape, but they're just regular household plants that I intend to put out the top of the tank. And I got this tank, the heater, the rocks, some plants over here in the main tank. I got this one here in the middle, and I got these Anubiuses over the back there, and I got all that for 20 bucks. So that was a steal. And this tank here has got a bit of a chip in the top of it, so I've decided to call the tank Chip. Okay, I've got the light at the back there as well, and that light does orange, blues, greens, purples, red disco, and yellows, and blue. I like the blue better. But anyway, so 20 bucks for all of that, which I'm going to then go and scape. And what we're going to do with that is I've got the I've got the female bedders over here. So we're going to try and do some breeding down the track. So that tank over there behind me is probably going to be for a male bedder, which we don't have yet. So I'm working on that. And this one over here, this beast, this one over here, we're going to call this Goliath. So this one here, online, a 500 litre tank with stand, 100 bucks. Disregard the fake plants in there. We won't be using fake plants. We'll be going for the real stuff. And these things here up the side, these are just garden plants. They were dying out in the backyard. They were pretty much gone. So I have popped them all in these tanks, and they're starting to spread out really nicely underneath the water even. I didn't expect that. And they're growing. So they've got them over here too. So they're up the side there. And I've made this lid on this one. So this is just one of those light fixtures that you have in the ceiling lights. And I just shaped it and chopped it up so that I could take the panels off, and I cut some holes in it using a circular saw. And I just popped these household plants in, because these household plants are really good for taking out nitrates in the water, etc., which I'll go into with you all later. In the back over here, we've got some long stem plants at the back. We've got some grassy plants at the front. Now I haven't put any of these, I haven't put most of these into the rocks yet, because I wanted to play with the tank and move everything around and just get a feel for it. And I have moved it around a lot. So when we get going, I'll actually be doing substrates with nutrient levels, and then capping it all over with sand to keep it all down. And again, I'll explain all that later. And then I can plant our plants directly into that substrate, so not in these little cups. So that's just a temporary measure, that one, while I work it all out. And these rocks here didn't cost a cent. I dug them up out of the garden, out back. So it didn't cost me a cent, those ones. This whole tank and stand, this I did buy a long time ago. So I spent about $300 to buy that whole setup. And there is a wooden lid that goes on top, but I've taken it off in favour of doing the plant growth out the top, which is what I'm pretty much going to be doing. And these things here, these were handy. These came with the chemicals included, with the $20 deal that I bought. So the little chip here. So this is chip. Not sure if I'm going to use these yet. I thought I was going to stay away from them and keep everything natural, but you never know. I might do something with them and just see how it goes. Never say never. Cool. So that's pretty much my setup at the moment. I've got the 3 tanks. Goliath, that's going to be a bit of a bigger job. So I got him and I'm using him as a reservoir at the moment. So I put the water in here straight from the tap, and I just leave it sit here for days. And then what I do is I gravity feed that water into here when this one needs a water change, which I am still doing at the moment, while I get used to how the whole tank cycle works. And that will be another video that I do in detail, because it is quite a complex process, the tank cycle. And a lot of people kind of breeze over it very quickly when they're videos on YouTube. And they don't really explain it to the newbie. So they just say, you get the cycle right. Well, what cycle? How does the cycle work? So we're going to go into that and find all that out in another video. Okay, but for now, I'm just going to put on some video of these fish feeding, because I fed them some bloodworms earlier, and I'm trying to teach them to come and eat out of my hand. So we've got a bit of footage of that. Okay, thanks for being part of my station. Thanks for watching me here on YouTube. And yeah, see you next time.